Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Flesh and Blood Team League broadcast featured by the Combat Chain. I am your host, Adam Philipchuk, alongside Pat Shaw. And we've got a big match for you today. We've got Nathan Fortin taking on Michael Hamilton. That's right, two-time calling champion Michael Hamilton. This is first match of two for West Coast, Best Coast in Indy Arsenal today, with West Coast, Best Coast being up 1-0 on the series so far. Dong Hee taking on Tyler. It was Dong Hee Kim taking on Tyler Kennedy yesterday, and that was a Starvo. Dong Hee on Starvo versus Tyler uh, on
On Viscerai,
Viscerai.
correct?
Viscerai, yeah, and Dong Hee taking that match. So West Coast, Best Coast currently up 1-0 on the series right now. And definitely, these next two matches are pivotal matches for both teams because this is West Coast, Best Coast's chance to step out, get ahead, uh, 2-0 on the series, and almost putting it on the verge of a stranglehold. And meanwhile,
And Indy
Indy
Arsenal is
Arsenal
really
looking to
trying
stay
to
into it.
even things up, correct?
That is correct. And we're actually going to take you to the floor right away here. We're going live a couple minutes early. Both players are ready to go. Uh,
Wow. I see something unexpected right away. It looks like Michael Hamilton is on Lexi and Nathan
correct.
Fortin playing Prism.
And we have seen Michael Hamilton play Lexi last week as well. So this isn't the most shocking. Like I was expecting either Lexi or Prism. What I am, or sorry, Lexi or Guardian.
Hmm.
What I'm curious to find out though is what kind of Lexi are we going to be dealing with? Because that's what's part of what's going to really decide how this matchup fares for the Prism.
What type of variants could we see out of Lexi today?
Uh, I mean, there's so many subtypes at this point, like Voltaire and Death Dealer, and things like that. But the big subtypes are Ice versus Lightning, and Lightning
Hmm.
just looking to deal a ton of damage very quickly, whereas Ice is looking to just control a game, stop what the opponent's doing, and win the game out that way. And if this is in fact Lightning, this is going to be tough for the Prism.
Yeah, Prism does seem to be pretty vulnerable to your typical go wide strategies. Like Lexi is very good at it, even with the absence of ball lightnings. She has found a way to make it work. I think she gets a little overshadowed in the current meta, but is still one of the top six or seven decks in the current meta right now. You have to respect her. Her on hits are definitely devastating. She does have a uh, she does have some issues with blocking with her equipment, so keeping pressure is important. And those are all things Prism doesn't like. Needs time to set up, uh, wants a limited action uh, from their opponent so that they can create a board state and outvalue their opponent.
Exactly. So this match is going to come down in part to whether Nathan can, well, and it depends because you know we we've been doing a little bit of our homework here behind the scenes in West Coast, Best Coast. So Nathan and Nathan and I were having conversations where it's like, well, if what do we do if we do see Lexi? And uh, Nathan, I hope, was bearing in mind that he might see Lexi coming into this match. I'm sure he did. And
Hmm.
based on that as well, it's going to be interesting to see what method he employs because if he's able to lean a little more on Harold's, once again, Lexi has a hard time blocking that, right? Lexi only has uh, one arrow that's 6 power, and is that and I believe that's is that Searing Bolt?
I believe it's I think
Battering
Battering Bolt
bowling?
is
Battering Bolt is what
the
it
new
is.
Majestic from Everfest. I believe is a 6 attack arrow.
So beyond
I
that,
do believe for everything else, yeah, it's 5 attacks.
yeah. So
It does seem Phantasm as an ability seems to be a little on the wayside these days, unless Nathan is going into a very Herald-centric, classic aggro plan. Is that something that we'll be seeing here? Is he going to flip a Vestige, a Soul here?
and that's what I don't even know. We're going to be very curious to find out here. I think you probably do need to lead a little more on the Heralds here to probably win this match. And we still see the Tunic and Skullcap. So likely Nathan's going to be
Yep.
playing hard on auras.
Yep. And do we know who's going first?
I apologize. They made the dice roll. It looks like Nathan's going first. He's ticking up his Tunic first. So here Nathan's probably looking to, ideally he's looking to double aura, but looking to just get out some sort of aura to start the playoff. Or I stand corrected. We see a Wartune Herald to start things off, a blue Wartune Herald. So this is going to be 5 with go again. We see the Celestial Cataclysm getting pitched for the cost there. So that will give go again. And then from there, we're going to see a Haze Bending get played out to end Nathan's turn.
A pretty solid start from the Prism player.
Oh, 100%. You got to wonder, though, was he better off giving Michael the chance to cycle his hand there or not with the initial Wartune Herald? But he must not have had an aura to play and was looking to cycle his hand himself.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was more influencing than anything else. He probably wanted to just get rid of what he had and put the Haze Bending on the board at the very least. And we do have a Ranger card. Is that a Rain Razor?
And I believe we're at the beginning of Michael's turn here. Michael starting off with the Rain Razors. You got to wonder if maybe he's going to follow that up with a 3 of a kind. If that's, he's getting the Rain Razors out now because he won't be able to once he 3 of a kinds.
Yeah, he did flip a Endless Arrow in Arsenal, so that's there waiting.
And
I'm not going to pretend to be a Ranger expert here, so don't be afraid to pop those cards on that screen when they come up.
sure thing. So we've got Endless Arrow, currently at 6 power because of the Rain Razors. And this, if it gets played out, it will, if it hits, it will come back to hand. Currently, the only way to give it go again, though, is the Snapdragon Scalers. So I wonder what else Michael has in order to possibly get a few uses out of that Endless Arrow. There we go. We see a
Oh,
blink.
getting an additional action point might do it. And wow, look at that hand right there. Rain Razors blink 2 3 of a kinds.
So we were right to see that he was playing the Rain Razors out first just to clear out his hand before the 3 of a kind. Because once 3 of a kind is played, you do get to draw 3 cards, but you can no longer play cards from hand. You can still pitch from hand, but you can only play cards from arsenal.
Yep, it's one of the Rangers limiting aspects here. A weapon that doesn't attack, and the additional step of having to arsenal their arrow attacks in order to make them useful. Here we come with an endless arrow for I believe that's 4, and if it
That
hits,
would be
returns to hand.
6 because of the Rain
6
Razors,
because of the Rain Razor.
with 1 action point floating after this. We see Nathan's quick to stop this with a Soul Shield. That'll be a block for 6.
That's a good block. now Hamilton's got to think about what he's got going next. I expect to see a Voltaire activation. There's that battering bolt.
We see the battering bolt pitched to get a searing shot into Arsenal, and then we're going to play that. No, thinking about playing that searing shot. We're deciding probably what we're going to give it off the Voltaire. With only one card left, I got to imagine he's going to pick +1 here, putting this at 4, 5, 6, 7. And if it hits, Prism will lose an additional life.
It's going to be a little difficult knowing the Voltaire choice. We're going to have to just kind of read the room as it happens.
That's right. That's hopefully the players are heads up enough to put their dice counters out.
We're going to have to use our expert insight to make sure we're looking at it correctly here. We have a passing mirage block. Or is that a, yes, that's passing mirage, right?
My apologies, 1 second here. Doing behind the scenes work. That is Pierce Reality. Piercing Reality.
Pierce Reality. I had a 1 in 3 chance. And you're right? Arsenal that last card, and it gets set up for the next turn here. And Command and Conquer coming in from Nathan. If you're having a 2-card hand left, that's great against Lexi.
Oh yeah, you love to see a Command and Conquer pressuring the aura or the Arsenal. Pressuring anybody's Arsenal can force cards out of hand, but especially in Lexi, if they've got an ice card or a lightning card in the Arsenal right now, and they want to activate that Lexi ability at the start of their next turn, the Command and Conquer can really hamper that. Michael just thinking about how he wants to deal with this.
Blocks with 2, keeps 1 in Arsenal. Could be worse. Shows an Electrify, and I believe his next attack has Go Again. Plays the Electrify from Arsenal, so he draws a card.
And that's exactly why Michael didn't want that Easter egg, or not that Easter egg, that CNC to hit. Is that Electrify can fuel so much damage, and and being able to draw the extra card, it's so crucial to the Rangers game.
And we do have a Dazzling Crescendo, I believe. Not sure which color.
Let me zoom in on that here. That is a red Dazzling Crescendo. So this is 4. And was it fused?
It was not, but it is given Go Again through Lexi's
that is correct.
ability.
So this is 4 with Go Again. Michael choosing
7. The Electrify on hit there.
We're going to see a block for 5 here with the card from hand and the equipment.
Early equipment use. Always something to note there. Tunic is to 3. It's online. We have a passing Mirage. I'm sorry, Miraging Metamorph.
Yeah, and this is going to be 7 with Go Again.
And a Shimmers.
And 7. Michael also taking 1 off of Haze Bending. Players playing fast here. The Haze Bending for 1 as well, being an 8 damage turn from Nathan. And we see Michael starting off with a 3 of a kind on his turn.
So that's the 3rd one we've seen. We know there's 1 more in his deck that he pitched. He played 1, and this is the 2nd one he's played.
That is correct.
Has a light 'em up in Arsenal being revealed. It looks like he activated Voltaire, put the arrow into Arsenal, presumably with go again, and now he's coming in. I believe that's a red one.
That is a red snapshot.
Yep. I did not see a fuse. A second lighted up. There's 2 elemental ranger attacks in there. And lighted up is fused with a lightning surge.
And lighting up with the potential to deal a lot of extra damage here based off of
Yep.
whatever equipment
Yeah, if
Nathan still
lighted
has
up was
left.
fused, it gains, if it hits a hero, deal 1 damage to them for each equipment they control. If lighted up deals damage to a hero equal or greater than the number of equipment they control lose and can't gain activated abilities until the end of their next turn.
So this one likely asking for the full block. And we see the second activation of that skull cap here.
Yep, and that's a 4 block that's clean, unless there's a lightning press to follow up here.
We
That'll
would not
be
be
a
able to
good
lightning
block.
press because of the 3 of a kind this turn.
Oh yes, yep.
But it looks like that lighted up did have go again. And we're coming in with the other lighted up now. So here's going to be another 4. Still being fused with that lightning surge.
Still threatening an additional 4 and no activated abilities.
On equipment.
Yep, on equipment.
So Nathan thinking long and hard about whether he wants to take this. Like we said,
He
this is
is.
threatening.
He is in
In
the
addition,
tank.
he is very much in the tank here right now. This is I imagine he's trying to figure out what kind of turn he can still muster if he has to go to 2 cards, and whether giving up equipment till the end of his next turn is crucial to his next turn.
Right. So it's definitely threatening. So there's 4 damage physical coming through, potential additional 4 total loss of life from equipment, and if that hits, I believe the most pivotal thing is the tunic won't be able to be used. So he must be looking at he's looking at the 3 cards he has remaining. I can imagine if he can block. Oh, and
Yeah,
he's
and
going
we're going to
to.
see Tunic
All right.
pitched into the Ironhide Gauntlet with a Pierce Reality on top of that, blocking for 4 here.
I think that's a smart block. If he has something in his hand now that he can pitch on his turn to create a shield and start enabling go again, start turning the shimmers online here.
Oh,
Uh,
we're going to see a Miraging Metamorph.
Miraging Metaphor. Yeah, that's good.
So this is going to be 7 go again.
Yeah, that's a yellow pummel in there too, correct?
Yellow Pummel in Arsenal, yeah. Or
Yeah,
in Pitch Zone. Not in Arsenal, what am I saying?
yeah. So Metamorph coming in, likely not not going to have its phantasm popped. So
No, and we see
have to.
Michael Easy taking this
Yep.
down to 25. And that's going to be followed up with the Shimmers. This is going to get a +1 counter, so this is going to be for 2. And
Value
then
town.
we're going to see the Haze Bending followed up there, and that's another 1. Taking Michael all the way down to 22.
Now, I would consider both of those pretty mandatory removal pieces here. What's your opinion on the Prism auras on the board?
It's tough with the Haze Bending and the Shimmers. The Shimmers is going to get out of control at some point, but it's tough for Alexi to deal with auras in the first place. And so here we actually see Michael just choosing to play a Command and Conquer, going straight to face right away. Was that Lightning Surge revealed beforehand? Does this have go again?
I believe so.
So this is 6 with go again. No attack actions playable. Typically Arsenal would be threatened here, but Nathan has nothing in Arsenal, and I think Nathan's looking to just take this full out, take 6 damage here.
That's the safe thing to do. Oh, we have Voltaire activation, a bolt and shot.
We're seeing, it
Uh,
looks
re
like Nathan. Go ahead there.
a reload not able to be triggered here because reload requires an empty arsenal.
That's right.
So can have go again. Bolton shot is usually given the +1 from Voltaire, so that's enabled go again, but the reload is negated from here. I got to imagine if he can chain one more together, he might try to fire one off. That lightning surge is likely something an attack that will take out one of the 2 auras there.
You could very well be right. Possibly
He's
taking
taking
out the
that one.
Shimmers.
Yep. There we go. Lightning surge taking out shimmers. And yep, his last card is Arsenal there, and Haze Bending, creating a shield from the destruction of the non-token aura. That can also get just as out of hand as the shimmer.
The thing though is if Nathan wants to get value out of that Haze Bending, he needs to keep playing auras in order to.
Mm-hmm.
And as he gets lower in life, he gets closer and closer to the point where Michael's just going to choose to go to face and stop and start ignoring the auras unless something catastrophic happens. We are
Yeah.
going back into Nathan's turn here, though, with Nathan with 4 cards in hand, the Haze Bending on the board, and a Spectral Shield. I gotta imagine Nathan's got. He must have a yellow at least to give something go again here. He does have a card in, or how many cards does he have in Soul as well? Just the 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
So he is able to pitch to make a shield this turn, able to guarantee a minimum of 3 damage pressured. And like I said, with a full hand here, he must be guaranteeing more than just 3 damage.
Prism does have a knack of making its opponent feel like they're in it and getting Prism down to single digit life total, and then Prism seems to stabilize pretty wildly after that. And when you think they're down, uh, they start doing stuff like this.
Yeah, so we had Nathan threaten a Haze Bending, make a shield off of it, swing for 2 more, and then come in with a Command and Conquer. So 6 threatening Michael's Arsenal.
Prism takes advantage of the 2.0 combat resolution step there that was introduced in the comp rules. Now they have that ability where they have priority, after the attack, after the reactions, before damage resolution, where you can still pitch as an instant and create that shield and give that attack go again before damage calculation. It can definitely throw some people off when you first present an aura for 1 without any pitch to give it go again initially.
Yeah, because then there's so many ways that the Prism can give it go again, whether they're flashing out an aura or they're activating Prism. There's a lot of tricky things that Prism can do to mess with you, and you never know what to expect.
If there's a person that has experience on stretching Prism to its limits, it's definitely Michael Hamilton. Uh, as he's shown in the calling there, Prism can find it very difficult to uh, conduct itself with those tricks that we were talking about without any cards in soul. Being able to instant speed create a shield from a card at soul is pretty important to its overall game plan. And as we see, Nathan does not currently have any cards in soul now.
That is correct. But Nathan is going to the end of his turn with a card in Arsenal, and Michael did discard his Arsenal or did lose his Arsenal there. So Michael is down to just the 4 cards in hand, trying to push through 2 Spectral Shields and 19 health currently. We see a red snapshot get played and fused off of an Electrify. So this is 4. And I got to imagine this is 4 with Go Again off of Voltaire here.
Yep, I think it's a safe bet.
With uh, Michael being able to activate Voltaire in extra time this turn now due to Snapshot being fused.
He's still with Electrify in hand technically right now. He
Yes, he does.
at the very least has the ability to set up next turn once he fires off what he's firing off here.
Nathan thinking long and hard about his block here. He's got Michael down to 13. Nathan's probably trying to think, what's worth it? How does he win this game? Does he hold his cards in hand, try to play off of a 5-card hand, or does he try to preserve his shields and auras? And does he try to chip in damage that way and just push Michael to the point where he can gain in that value? And we see a no block from Nathan, taking 2 damage with 2 Spectral Shields being blown up. And Michael following that up with an Endless Arrow. Place an Arsenal from the Voltaire and played out. You got to think this is once again 4 with Go Again.
Yep, very interesting spot for Prism to be in. Like you had mentioned, preserving those shields felt important, but you saw him take the hit, lose both those shields. That makes you wonder what his 5-card hand looks like.
Yeah, because with Michael down to 13,
Yeah, if he's
Nathan might.
got any number of conventional auras, he not auras, heralds in there and chain some together here, he's got some potential to really put Michael in a very threatening spot here for the rest of the game.
Exactly. Nathan thinking long and hard about his block here.
Soul Shield from Arsenal.
That's going to be a full block.
And it puts a card in Soul.
Kind of the best of both worlds for Nathan right now, shutting down Michael's turn and going back into his own turn with a 3-card hand still. This allows him to. So we see, yeah, on the start of his turn, he's going to start off by threatening the haze bending. One damage, little Kodachi there. And you got to think that Nathan's got something to pitch here to give this go again.
Yeah, definitely. Just waiting for the timing.
And we see the Ode to Wrath here. thus doubling the damage. Michael going to 11, and the Ode to Wrath coming in now, threatening another 2. These
Yep, these now
Kodachis
are
just became
essentially, yeah, pistols.
Teklo pistols. And we see Michael going down to 9 here. Nathan's activating his tunic, making another shield. He's going to swing for another 1, threatening 2. Michael down to 7.
Michael's in dangerous territory here. If Prism presents a merciful retribution, um, it's gonna put Michael in a pretty bad spot here.
So here we see an Electrify getting played from Arsenal. That's a blue Electrify. So this is going to be threatening an additional 1 on attack actions. And Michael does get a card draw off of this.
Yeah, it does replace itself.
We're going to see a Voltaire activation with a Bolton shot getting played.
Yeah, likely the +1. There is an empty arsenal here, so he can reload.
Nathan thinking about how he wants to deal with this. And you got to wonder, is how desperate is Michael feeling right now? Does Michael deal with the Ode to Wrath, knowing that that's going to trigger a shield off the haze bending? Or does he just try to ignore the auras at this point and just go to face? I think both are going to be, both options are.
It is definitely a difficult decision here. That haze bending has been on for a while. I feel like no matter what he does, if Prism has another instant speed aura, right here, I think it'll put Michael in a pretty bad spot if he tries to, especially I mentioned that merciful retribution. Um, but threatening auras late here is probably, I think he's damned if he do, damned if he doesn't, if we're being honest.
Tough to say though, because right now he's already getting 2 cards out of Nathan's hand, and that slows down Nathan's turn considerably. Nathan
That
looking
is a
like he's
Shimmers in a Herald of Erudition. I see
Herald of
there.
Triumph,
Herald of
blue
Triumph.
Herald of Triumph. And we see the Lightning Press
A
getting played
lightning
here.
press.
So this giving an additional +3 to Michael's Bolton shot, which was already coming in for 5 with go again. So this is now 8 with an additional damage off of the Electrify. And that will pop the shields.
Yeah, Nathan losing the shields again. And he plays an Electrify from Arsenal. That's what he reloaded with.
That's what he reloaded with. That gets him an extra card drawn. That gives him a little bit more to play around with and possibly find a little more juice for his turn. Michael thinking long and hard here about what the next play is. 2 cards in hand. And he's going to activate his
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 bracers to
bracers.
put an arrow in Arsenal.
A fatigue
Tunic to
shot.
fire it off.
And this is interesting. Fatigue shot on hit. Well, when Fatigue Shot hits a hero, the base power of the first attack action card they play during their next turn is halved, rounded up. So a 5 becomes a 3. A 4 becoming a 2.
What does that make a 1?
Rounded up, it would still make a 1 a 1.
All right. Oh, and he took that.
Down to
We got
6.
Prism at 6, Lexi at 7.
2 card hand from Nathan. We see Nathan leading with a Red War Toon Herald. So this is threatening lethal
Okay.
currently.
Yeah, that's pitching yellow. It's got go again. And he's got two auras behind it for a total of there's 11 damage on the board right now.
Yes, because this is 7 threatening an additional 1 on hit.
I'm sorry, that would be presenting 12.
So Michael's in a bit of a tough spot here. He has to. Oh, I wonder if he's thinking about blocking with New Horizons here. So I know
Well, I
where
think
his
it's definitely
arsenal
got to
there.
be on the table, right? It's time for Tunic and New Horizons to possibly uh, serve their purpose here.
Exactly. Because Michael needs to get out of this turn with as many cards in hand as possible.
And I got to imagine worst case here is allowing it to hit and going to soul and providing just that much more ammunition for Nathan.
Nathan, not with the resources, able to activate Prism this turn, but still, any cards in Soul does give Prism that additional activation potential. Michael thinking long and hard about his block here. Oh, chat makes a good point. This is a Herald for 4 because of fatigue shot. Thank you. Thank you. The Attack Action Podcast tuning in. Shout out to the Attack Action Podcast.
You guys are so smart. Thanks for catching that.
So we see a Tunic and a Bolton shot for this, blocking out the 4.
Much more reasonable blocking decision for Mike.
And we see that followed up with an Ode to Wrath for 2 and a Haze Bending for 2, taking Michael down to 3.
Yeah.
Michael with a 3-card hand plus the Arsenal, able to certainly thread in at least 6 damage at this point, I would imagine. You see a Rain Razor's getting pitched here. Oh, no, we're thinking about that. No, we're committing. Rain Razor's pitched to play an Art of War.
Ooh, Art of War.
And that's some
That's
interesting
yeah, that's some spice right there.
banishing a Lightning
Drawing
Surge to
two.
draw 2. And I imagine he's going to go with Go Again otherwise on the other mode chosen. See Voltaire getting activated here.
I don't know the greedy play. Give it +1. Give Go Again through the arrow.
Looks like we chose, yeah, you're right, +1 off Art of
Yeah.
War, so we're going to be Go Again with the Voltaire. And this is a Pathing Helix. This is going to be for 5 with Go Again. With a
And if it hits,
pseudo,
you can.
essentially a reload.
Yeah. Yep.
Lightning Press pushes this to 9. This is a bit of a tough
Prism's,
spot for Prism to be in now.
yeah, especially if he's got some of those auras that don't block, it can definitely make your decision a little more difficult. Ooh, he's saying that the arrow's coming in for 6. So I wonder, did he give +1 from the Art
From
of War and
Voltaire,
+1 from the Voltaire as well? So there's no currently no go again. It might
he
be, is
must
that a
have.
0 cost? It's a 0 or 1, so he can play, he can break Snapdragons.
It is a zero cost, so he can Snapdragon Scalers here for the go again.
I think that makes sense late in the game like this. Try to get as much of as high a damage output as you can to force those cards out of Prism's hand.
Yeah, and that's what he's looking to do at this point. Lock out the game either by dealing lethal some way or ripping cards out of Prism's hand and just gaining the tempo. And an interesting mention to note: both these players are currently undefeated in the season for Team League. So this game being even more so for the bragging rights of going being 3-0 in Div 2. Um,
Yeah, there's a lot on the line in the last few turns here. There is momentum for West Coast, Best Coast, going up 2-0 or being at 1-1 is very much a difference here. And Michael Hamilton in a position to snatch the momentum back to Indy Arsenal with some giant fiery arrows.
yeah, giant fiery arrows is very accurate. Uh, this attack coming in for 6. This is threatening lethal currently. This is going to be
I'm
this
one.
is a tough one for Nathan.
I'm wondering if he does have some of those auras that don't block, and perhaps he's trying to figure out if he can pitch something and play something at instant speed that might help him.
You'd have to
Off
have
the
something
Yeah,
like
off the top of my head, I can't think of something that would help him out.
Parable of Humility gives this -1, but that still takes you down to 1. That's not a great play. Uh, Michael Hamilton is you're not able to threaten a merciful kill because you got nothing in soul, and Michael Hamilton still had 3.
Hmm.
This is definitely a tough spot for Nathan right now on Prism.
Deep in the tank. Yeah, these late game blocking decisions are really, we're down to the nitty gritty here. There's not a lot of armor left. Uh, this is taking the game mechanics into account here and figuring out how to best uh, prevent damage while giving yourself something to do here. If he has to get rid of uh, um, more cards than he's comfortable with and just allows Michael to attack with impunity and simply draw up and do it again, this might start spelling the end here.
And I think that's exactly what Nathan's trying to make sure he can't do. He won't do right now is trying to figure out a way to keep himself in the game. And we see both footsteps and tunic being thrown at this already.
I believe Footsteps needs a pitch, correct?
Footsteps will need to pitch, and this being a 6-power attack will also blow up the footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a block for 5 currently, still necessitating the pitch for the footsteps.
It appears the cursors seem to be talking about that. It looks like Michael may be asking about the armor on the footsteps.
Now, I believe footsteps still does have a 0 block, so you can block with it without pitching. The pitch is not. Yeah, the pitch is optional, but I can't imagine a world where Nathan's choosing to block with this without pitching to it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. When we see a Shimmer's
There it
getting
is.
pitched. And we're going to flash out a Parable of
Ooh,
Humility. So this is
and he
going to be
had the merciful in there too.
a block for 5 with the Pathing Helix being taken down to 5.
Breaking the scalars. He's got no cards in hand.
No, this is it. If Michael Hamilton's got 6. Oh, and I don't think
Like
he does. He's got
that's
the Lightning
5.
Surge. This gets -1 off the Parable.
4.
So this becomes, yeah, 4,
Yeah.
taking
Yep.
Nathan down to 2.
Oh.
Footsteps sticking around because that Parable of Humility is brought the Pathing Helix down to 5.
Yep. And still able to come in for 2.
Yeah, threatening to put
Where
Michael down to 1 here and putting Michael in the range where Merciful Retribution can seal the deal. Michael has no arcane barrier. This is a tight game, folks. This is a very tight game. Michael taking the time to think about whether he wants to block this. And he is. He's going to throw a battering bolt at this, blocking it out for 3. Keeping himself at 3, keeping himself healthy. That's probably the right play here. We're going to see Electricity activation into an Electrify.
he's
I don't
moving
think
fast. He knows what he wants to do here.
he does.
Looks like Moon revealing Electrify, giving his next attack go again, playing it, replacing itself. He's got 2 floating. He's going to be coming in. He's going to be activating Voltaire here shortly. Competitive team league, Adam. Some of the best players in the world. Literally the top ranked player in the world right now at 3 life, figuring out how to, if he's got what it takes to close it out here.
That's how tight these games are in Team League. Like, these all around the board have been incredible matches. And here we see another one. Like you say, one of the best players in the world. Down to 3. He's got 3 cards in hand, 2 resources floating, and he's trying to find a way to push over the top on a prism. There's a Parable of Humility out. Attacks have -1 currently. This is a tough position for both players to be in right now. No one clearly has it right now.
And he's loaded an arrow and he's fired it from Arsenal.
We've got a searing shot here. This is going to be base 4 on hit, losing a life.
Well,
On
-1
hit,
from the parable, right? So coming in for 3.
possibly depends on whether go again was. No, we had the Electrify reveal, so this has a go again off the Electrify. I imagine he gave
Yep.
+1 off the Voltaire then, so this is coming
Oh,
in for
back up to
4.
4. Yep.
We're going to see the footsteps get thrown at this with a card from hand as well. A pitch to pay for the footsteps. This is a block for 4. Does Michael have a lightning press? He does not, but he's going to follow that up with a command and conquer. This is 6.
Oh,
Or sorry, 5. My apologies. But still taking
and
every
he's got
card
5.
out of Nathan's hand. Nathan only going to be able to attack once on his turn once again.
That parable saved him there. He had five block.
That Parable's putting in work right now, and Nathan's going to swing it again for 2. We're going to see the New Horizons get thrown at it this time. So Michael is out of equipment, still has a 4-card hand. Going back into Michael's turn. Michael's at 3, Nathan's at 2. Can Michael close it out this turn? We see the
You
lighted
got
up
me at
get
the edge of my
pitched.
seat here.
We're going to see
And
the Voltaire activation into a dazzling crescendo. Pitched with the lightning
oh,
press.
and he shows
Oh,
the lightning press.
I imagine with the fusion, you are able to give +1 on this because this will have go again on its own. This is 5 with go again, threatening the lightning press. How, or my apologies, 4 off the Parable of Humility. How is Nathan going to deal with this?
Not have a lot of options.
Because the question here
So
is, does Michael need the lightning press to finish out his turn? I imagine if you underblock this, he's just going to lightning press here and clinch the game
yeah,
right
you
now.
have to respect it. So you have to block around the lightning press. I think it's the exact reason he showed that. He's probably going to save that. Curious to see if he's got one float. If he's got a zero cost arrow, this might be it.
But Michael might not have the. So we see a Bolton shot follow it up here.
And that is a red. The lightning press is still in play, correct?
That is a yellow. So
That's
this is going to be
yellow.
4.
Okay, 3.
Lightning press threatening to take it to 7. We got a block for 6 here. So lightning press cannot deal lethal
Math is a little
currently.
wonky, right? Yellow coming in, right? There's enough block there between the parable of reduction, that being a yellow arrow.
Michael just doing some quick math here.
I think that at most that's 6 with the lightning press, and that's 6 block there.
That is correct. And it looks like Michael's going to pass turn here. And we're not going to Arsenal the lightning press. So Michael's only going to have a 4-card hand.
Interesting.
Well, and the reason for not
Yeah,
arsenaling the lightning
you're
press at this
Alexi.
point is if you arsenal it without
Yeah,
the
yep.
hood.
You get trapped there, right?
Yeah. So we see Michael going to 1 here. Michael is in merciful retribution territory. However, there is no way to make a shield currently.
Here's the Bolton shot.
Nathan still knows the lightning press is there. Nathan needs to respect the lightning press. And another notable thing here is Michael is down to 19 cards left in his deck.
Prism
Comparable
has a
to
real opportunity here to potentially fatigue him out.
possibly.
The twist no one saw coming. The one life game going to fatigue.
We've got our Bolton shot coming in for 4 with go again. I believe that's 4. Yeah, this is a red. -1 off Parable, +1 off Voltaire. This is 4.
Mm-hmm.
And is Nathan going to just block for 4 here? Then you just play the lightning press.
Does he have a defense reaction?
He does.
Aha,
Baiting
there it
out the
is. The
lightning
soul
press.
shield. Wow, clutch. That was clutch. I don't know how many more of those Michael has, but he that is a great play by Nathan.
This will leave Nathan because Michael doesn't have a resource to pitch here to Voltaire. So unless Michael has a plain Jane attack action in hand,
Soul Shield is going to go into Soul, and if that's a yellow pitch in his hand, things are about to get super dicey for Michael Hamilton.
Michael doing some quick math here. This is going to blow up footsteps, by the way.
Because it's greater, it's a 6 attack or greater, right?
And it's become a 7 power attack. How are you doing right now, viewers? I know I am sitting on the edge of my seat wondering how this is going to end. We see another lightning press getting
Another
pitched
lightning press.
just to cycle it out of the hand. Now you got to wonder, does Nathan have the yellow? If Nathan has the yellow, Nathan may very well be able to pressure Michael's entire hand. We see the haze bending get
And
swung.
that lightning press would not have been enough because of the Soul Shield.
And we do have the yellow.
Oh no! Here we go. He creates a shield. He's gonna
And
present.
there it is.
And there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner, Nathan
Wow!
Fortin,
Unbelievable.
taking it
What has he
over
got?
Michael Hamilton.
He just didn't have enough left in hand.
What a
Wow.
game.
Let's talk about that last play. That Soul Shield blocking for 6 as a defensive reaction, taking out the ability. Michael Hamilton had 2 lightning presses in hand. And if that was anything other than a Soul Shield, I don't know what else he would have had. But that 6 block negated not only the lightning press that he was playing, but the next one as well. That was nuts.
What a play. To be able to have that read and go, all right, I can bait out the lightning press here and really shut down Michael Hamilton. What a play by Nathan Fortin.
That's definitely something uh, we should clip and people should talk about. That was a nuts play. That was super exciting.
Call that from here on out a Fortin,
Pulling a
baiting out an
Fortin.
attack reaction. What a game that was.
Wow, that puts the series at 2-0. West Coast Best Coast over Indy Arsenal. All the momentum in the world. So the next game tonight is can potentially decide the series here.
That's correct. We have more action for you. That's not it for today. We still have Andrew Podleski taking on Michael Trion. That game is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And Andrew Podleski has an opportunity here to clinch the series now. This is a big opportunity for Andrew. Lots on the line here. Both teams, like I said earlier in the stream, looking to clinch this series to step out 2-1 going into week 4, to really try to hold on to those second and third position spots in the standings. So these matches are mean a lot right now. And Nathan Fortin being able to take out that win was huge for West Coast Best Coast. But like I said, that is not all the action we have. We will be cutting away for a break here, but stay tuned. We are going to be going live probably at about, we'll say 55 minutes. We'll be going back live, and we'll
I'm
have the.
I'm jazzed up. I'm ready to go. That fired me up. Let's see the rest of these games. This is exciting. I got I'm all adrenaline-y. I got trading card games, man. Simulations of trading card games. This is who can ask for more? This is intense stuff.
I certainly can't. But like I said, that's going to be it for now. Until our next broadcast, we are closing the
Closing
combat
the combat chain.
chain.
Almost missed it there. Got there.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Woo! That was